probably going to see quite a few of these VEDA videos from my backyard area just because it's one of the areas to where I can kind of go and talk without any kind of distractions for the most part. Create no matter what. That I wasn't really realizing how much of a challenge that was going to be for today. Just to be completely open with you, I did not have the best day personally. I've got to stick to this create no matter what series and mentality, and especially through these VEDA videos, so that I can stay committed to creating something every day. Creating vlogs every day, I should be more specific. I'm not going to get into the details of what all went on. It was just a rough day personally, so that's just where I'll leave that. But this morning, I got up, went through pretty much my routine of waking up, getting breakfast, checking emails, checking websites, all that kind of stuff. And then I edited the VEDA video 4 that I posted today. The mentality with this is like vlogging every day. It's like you do your vlog stuff throughout the day. Sometimes you can try to record things that will be able to be posted for later dates, not even just the next day, but that's just kind of what today was. So today's and yesterday's recordings were for the next day. So once I got through that routine, had like a spontaneous little truck ride. My little boy wanted to go for a ride, so we did that. We all hopped in the truck, and I was like, this would be a good chance to try to test out the active tracking a vehicle with the I cannot say that word, DJI Mavic Air. Now it worked pretty good, but I would say it was like a 70% success rate. It was able to track for the most part, but then once it got over a little bit of tree cover, it just lost track. And then we weren't even going that fast and it still lost track. It probably just needed to be higher. But the thing is that I am super scared about flying the drone high in this area just because there's so many low flying aircraft at times. And I just have a hard time flying anywhere in this hometown area. And it was worth trying out, but I did learn something, that there was a boundary of I want to say 1,500 feet or so. So I had to, and that's one of the points that it lost track. So we had to go back. So I got to look at the settings and all that kind of stuff. But I want to use that feature at times because I think it makes a nice little B-roll kind of sequence to be able to have the drone follow you even in a vehicle. I see creators do it all the time on YouTube. There's so many different little lessons I learned today. There's one that I'm not really comfortable opening up on the air about, but one of the things that I learned was obstacles. Sometimes you gotta get over obstacles just to create stuff. We've been working on trying to organize our house and try to declutter and put things into a better placement so that way it just helps our everyday life out. And that's one of the things I had to try to get through today so that way I can continue to create onto different stuff or be able to focus on things I really want to focus on, which is not organizing things. There's a new system that we're trying to incorporate inside of our master bedroom. I would say about maybe a quarter of the room now is kind of dedicated to what a studio space would be. So we got this new shelving system, some containers and things like that to try to keep things more organized than compared to the system that we had before, which was like a bin kind of thing. It just became too cluttery. Anyways, I had to get through that obstacle so that way I could focus on better stuff tomorrow. And that's one of the things I kind of want to communicate with you guys today, is that sometimes you got to overcome obstacles, like small things or even big things, to get on to the next thing. Just knock it out and get on to the next thing. The other thing was throughout the day, my motivation was pretty rough. And the message of create no matter what kept on popping up. I'm like, today is just getting away from me. I'm not being able to get to the things that I really wanted to get to, but I gotta persist and get on to creating something. So here I am creating something. So I stepped out into my backyard. Sometimes it's like my Zen area to where I can just kind of look throughout the backyard area and just have my thoughts rattle around and meditate, in a sense, I guess is one way to put it. But I was looking out towards the neighbor's backyard, and there's this tree that's there. There's the tree that's not there anymore too. The neighbor just recently mowed their yard, and there's some sprigs that were coming up from an old tree that used to be there, which was from Hurricane Michael. Hurricane Michael came along, and I'm surprised that this tree actually didn't fall, but they ended up cutting it down. Long story short, there's some sprigs coming out from the ground. So, new growth kind of thing. But then if I look past that spot, there was another tree that had some new growth on it, to where there was a tree branch that was just completely cut off, but there's new growth happening. So it's like almost that persistence kind of thing. Just keep on growing no matter what, even if you have to cut off some stuff. More thoughts went into the podcast and what I want to make it as, and I'm starting to lean towards not making it as Joshua Bane's podcast, but I thought about creative dump. That's just something I've thought about, and there's so many different conversations I have with people, and I know that the conversations that I'll have with people that'll be on the podcast, that it's just going to have this creative knowledge dump. And so I thought about creative dump in some way, like brand it in that kind of format, to where maybe like we're just giving our experiences, giving some knowledge-based kind of stuff, going through those kind of topics that will help out other creators. I think my style is really just sharing the journey and sharing the things that happen as I do stuff, or when I come across people that have some things that they could just dump on us. Sometimes there's these situations to where I don't see them on a frequent basis, so it's nice to catch up, and then I just hear all these awesome concepts, these thoughts and ideas, and just things that they're working on. So I just think creative dump might be just a great way to put it. You know how a knowledge dump is like you are in a class, a lecture, or you got this conversation going, and you just hear all these different knowledge pieces and they just get dumped on you. And I just really think that would be a great way to theme out this podcast, because I really think that that's going to be a way that many people and many of the conversations that we have will actually come across. And maybe some of these vlogs will actually end up being like, I don't want to call them rant sessions, but maybe just these thoughts that could potentially help someone else out that are carrying matters. So this cat comes across the yard and he's preying on these birds that are just plopping into the yards in different spaces. And just kind of like the thoughts behind that is like, you're pursuing something, and even if it doesn't work out, which it didn't work out for this cat, he just waited too long to prance or pounce, I should say. Snuck up on this stuff, but there was one object that he was going for, then another one. So again, it's like create no matter what. Even if you don't succeed, like keep on doing it. I don't think I succeeded very well today in the creative realm. I didn't get to the projects that I wanted to get to today, but it's overcoming obstacles, overcoming mentalities, overcoming negative thoughts. The list could go on. Today was just one of those days, and I just had to come out here and start recording. I could have just done some B-roll, I could have just kind of got by, but I figured that someone else could potentially learn from this experience or find value in the struggle that I went through today. So create no matter what. And we'll catch you next video. See you back tomorrow. And if you've missed the last video or two, here's a playlist of what you could check out on the screen. If not, just click the channel and you'll be able to see all kinds of videos that I've been making. Best wishes to you all. Wish me some luck. I need some luck. I need some luck.